now. Let me just make sure. Actually, it'll be fine either way. Awesome. Okay. So Marissa and I just wanted to get on talk to you guys about basically our story in the business. I think sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in feeling like what you're experiencing and what you're feeling in your business is specifically something you're going through, and maybe you are feeling inadequate, or if you're just feeling bummed or, you know, uninspired. All of us go through that. So we just wanted to kind of go through and tell you guys our story and just be kind of open and vulnerable and give you some examples of things that we did to maybe get ourselves out of a rut or push through a certain season in our business that we felt maybe, were a bit tougher. So for those of you who don't know my story, this is actually my second Monat business. I have been in Monat since, oh gosh, what was it? It was New Year's Eve of 2019. So right before 2020 hit. I had my first Monat business. Jade was actually, funny enough, my sideline. She was not my upline. And I ran a successful Monat business for 2 years. And then I had an upline that was not present for me. Funny enough, it's the same upline that Jade technically has. And I just felt like I wasn't getting anywhere in my business. I felt like I had hit a wall. I hit AMM, and I just got to a point where I felt like I was spinning my wheels and I didn't know what else to do. So for me, I hemmed and hawed for 6 months about keeping my business where it was and feeling like I was just going to kind of be stuck in a rut, or closing out my account and signing up under Jade. And the funny part about it is that her and I joke about it quite often, that it was between her and Sarah Hill. And it's just funny to me because I think now, and I'm like, I can't fathom if I signed up with Sarah Hill. Like, even though she's one of like the top income earners in Monat, I now know some things behind the scenes about how untouchable she kind of is to be able to reach unless you hit certain goals and this and that. And Jade is just such an approachable, great mentor. And I already had a friendship with her. So for me, I just can't fathom it any other way. But I had a lot of changes that happened in my business. And when you close out your business, you lose everything. So I chose to lose all of my VIPs, all of my market partners, everything I had built over the course of 2 years. And you can imagine how, like, just soul crushing that can feel when, for me, like, I eat, sleep, and breathe Monat. I love Monat. It is something that really feeds my soul. I love the women that I have met in this business. I love the person this business has helped me become. And so for me, it was just a really tough season in not only my business, but my life. And Jade really helped breathe life back into not only my business, but back into me. And I'm really proud of myself for not just giving up in that moment, and just feeling like, well, this is what it's meant to be. Like, I gave it a shot, it didn't work out, whatever. I decided to push myself past the point of feeling like a failure and, going and trying and giving it one more shot. And I've still had struggles in this business. Like, even though I have now been in this business on Jade's team specifically for 1.5 years, I still am not where I want to be. And I still have days where I feel like I'm slacking, or I feel like I'm not doing the right things. And I think the biggest lesson that I have learned in this business is that who you surround yourself with matters. Who you align yourself with matters. The content you consume matters. So when I am feeling like I'm stuck in a rut, I really make it a point to go and watch content that is, inspiring, that helps me learn things, that helps push me outside my comfort zone. I go to Jade and I'm like, give it to me straight. Like, what am I not doing? How can I do something better? And sometimes she's like, babe, we just had a check-in like 2 weeks ago. Has anything changed since then? And sometimes I'll say no, and she'll go, then stick to it. Like, I know it's frustrating if you're not seeing something that's working, but stick to it. Right. And even as a leader in this business, I get those moments. Jade even gets those moments where she'll go to AJ and AJ will give her some tough love. And she's like, oh, you're right. Like, I just got to keep going. So I think the biggest lesson in my business has really just been to keep going and be consistent, regardless of feeling stuck in your business or stuck in life, or like you're just not going in the right direction. just stay the course. Because if you keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, you're never going to have a set destination that you're going to get to, because you're going to constantly be changing where you're going. So I really feel like my business allowed me, if you guys are on, can you just do me a favor and mute? I can't see who's unmuted. But the biggest thing for me that I try to really tell my girls is that, again, who you align yourself in this business matters. And this is a huge thing that you can also talk about on your stories with regards to prospecting people, because people will say like, oh, my cousin does this part-time and maybe I'll sign with them. And it's like, it's so important to try to tell people like who you join matters. It can determine the entire trajectory of your business, right? If you've got someone who treats this like a hobby and you don't see the potential that this really could bring into your life, versus having somebody who really, really pours themselves into their business and treats it like a business and not a hobby, that can change your entire outlook. And think about that for yourself and your own girls, the outlook that you have, the verbiage that you give your girls. Like if Jade came into our chat every day and was just complaining and annoyed, and every single frustration she just turned into a negative, like we would all feel that as a team, right? People would not stick around, people would not be thriving. But her coming in and breathing life into all of us, and therefore her leaders doing the same thing with their girls, and it's just having this community of positivity and resilience and just being inspiring and just full inspiration really can change the entire trajectory of your team, not only just your business, but your girls too. A girl that maybe didn't have a lot of, drive in the business, her seeing you show up every single day and being inspiring can inspire her, right? And maybe inspire her to be inspiring to her girls. And so it's just a process of duplication. And so with regards to your business, like just stop getting so down on yourself and thinking that what you're going through is something that other people haven't. Like reach into the community. For me, whenever I really felt like I was kind of lost in my business and I came onto this team, and I felt like it was funny. I got introduced in the chat and somebody had asked a consult question, and like product knowledge is my jam. So I answered, and one of the girls was like, yeah, but I don't know if that's right. And Jade was like, she's been in the business, like she's not new. And like that feeling of like, oh, I feel like the new girl, even though I've been here for 2 years, was just so, it really put me outside my comfort zone. But it was truly one of the best things that I could have done, because it made me have to not only feel like I had to prove myself to the team, but back to myself, right? I got comfortable and I got compliant. And that's one of the worst things you can do in life in general, but especially in this business when it is performance-based. And so it was just really, really nice to have to push myself outside of that comfort zone again and really have to hone in on my business and relearn certain things. Like I was unlearning bad habits for a solid 6 months with Jade before I felt truly confident to start taking my business by the horns. So, and that's with somebody who hit AMM in their previous business. So just keep that stuff in mind and know for yourself, like there's always a different path that you can take. And all it takes is just really using your upline or even a sideline as a sounding board for yourself so that you can help persevere and get through certain obstacles. So just don't get so down on yourself. Know that other leaders have gone through it, and their struggle can help you potentially not be stuck in a rut for as long as they maybe were. So, but that is my story in a nutshell. I don't want to talk for too long. Marissa, do you want to tell yours, my love, and then go into what you wanted to talk about?
Yes, you are just so awesome, and following you. Hopefully they'll get something from me too, but I love your story and just the bravery and coming back. So I started Monat a year and a half ago, and I, of course, watched a lot of people on Instagram, transformations. My hair wasn't terrible, but I also wasn't loving it. And I really needed to have a second source of income. I am a business owner. I do drafting of custom house plans. So I draw house plans, which my business is very determining by the housing market and the economy and everything else. And so sometimes it can be really up or down. And so I was looking for something to be able to provide extra income for the times when my business was slow. So I really wanted to just do it as a business, although I had not used the products before. So I ordered my product pack and from the get-go, I just started sharing my journey and sharing, my total experience, not really like, hey, buy this product. I was just sharing with my story, me using the products, how I felt, what it was doing, really just trying to be real and raw and just share what I felt about the products. I was not approaching it from a sales point at the beginning. And then I, started to be more comfortable. And I would say I was not somebody that would get on and talk on my stories before Monat. I would post things and I would do recipes and fitness stuff, but I would not get on like this and talk on my stories. And so that took some stepping out of my comfort zone to do that. But I knew that I needed to build trust with my audience and just be able to share my voice and them see my face and not just put up graphics and sell things, because that's all over the place. And if you don't have that trust of your community and them really hearing your experience, then you're probably not going to get very far. I also started out with my Instagram page. When I started Monat, I was probably about maybe 600 or 700 followers, which a lot of those were probably not even actual, real followers. And I've been able to grow to about 1,700 right now. Woo! Almost to 2,000, but it's doable if you just stay consistent, build that trust, provide value is huge for me. Like, I want to be able to educate people on why I'm doing something or what it can help with, or why the business is an amazing opportunity. Like, I'm always trying to think about the stories that I'm posting, to make sure that it makes sense in a storyline, that it provides value. Like, if I was to go back and see, like, did somebody even get anything out of that? Was it just nothing, or was it educational or emotional or touching to somebody? So those are some things that I really tried to focus on. My first few months of business were slow because I was just starting out using the products, but I did start to see more and more transformations. And as I was just continuing to show my progression, people started asking and reaching out. I would say that I was kind of stuck for a little while. If you're newer, you don't know how the compensation plan used to be. To rank up before, you used to have active lines, and managing market partner wasn't just able to hit by yourself. So I was really stuck for a long time until I dove into recruiting and building my team. And then came Monations and they changed it everything. But having a team of girls, I just absolutely love it to be able to help them. And we are all just going to win together when we're working together. So don't be afraid to share the business side of it, because I think sometimes we just think, okay, we don't have to build a team. We can do the affiliate thing and continue to rank up, but it is going to be so much easier for you to continue to hit goals as you are helping other people to hit those goals too. So that was something that I kind of regretted, of like not just talking about the community and talking about the opportunity. And so I do try to throw that in there and continue to talk about it, and just really share my true feelings on how this business has changed. And so right now, with the business, the economy, how it is, my other business of MCH Home Design has almost become non-existent. And I am so, so grateful for Monat that I can fill in. I'm doing this pretty much full time, and I am so much happier. Like, I loved my business and my career, but it was very stressful when I did not have clients to do house plans for. So to have Monat now, I'm just so grateful for it. Trying to think if there was something else, the advice I was going to give. If you feel stuck, like Brittany said, it is not just you. We all have ups and downs. There are days that I do not feel like showing up, but I know that if I'm not showing up, my team's not going to be showing up. Who are they looking to. They need somebody to have that as an example. So you never know who you are inspiring when you show up. You've got to just continue on, even if it's, you're having a bad day, do something to show up for your business. If you don't have an open mouth, you don't have an open business. So showing up and just staying consistent and pushing through those slow times, it's going to get you there. Like there were times when I felt like, okay, I can't do this. I'm not progressing. And then the next month hit and I hit a huge rank. And I was like, if I would have quit when I wanted to quit, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So I would just say, keep pushing through, even if you are struggling. If you need help, reach out. Like Brittany said, like reach out, talk to your upline, talk to other people on the team, say, I'm really struggling with this. Do you think this is a good idea for me to do? Go to them with a question, but also an idea of maybe how you should fix that, or an approach, and not just say, what do I do? Like give it some thought and think, okay, these are my options. Should I do this or this or this? And they can help you. And if you are coachable and teachable, you're going to be able to be okay. And then just, I would say, take ownership of your business. I personally was not getting the help that I needed at the beginning when I started, and I was determined to, I needed this. So I really reached out and I said, okay, I really am serious about this. I need help. Tell me, how am I going to change what I'm doing? And being coachable has been huge. Reach for that help. But also take a little bit of ownership into your own business and, go to some resource library or any of our training calls and see if you can find the answers for yourself, and then maybe say, okay, I'm thinking that I need to do this. Or even when it comes to consults, like put in some thought, look into some of the resources that we have, come with an answer, and then ask, is that what you would do? So taking ownership, researching, asking the right questions with an answer, I think is huge as well.
Amazing. You said a couple things that actually made me think of some stuff that I want to touch on real quick. One of the things was the followers. I think it's so easy to think that the only people who are really successful in this business are ones that have really big followings, or even like 10,000 followers plus. Marissa and I were both under 1,000 followers when we first started this business. I think I had like 325 when I started, and now I'm pushing 5,000. And that's like organically just growing my business. Like nothing I did to push my profile ever did anything, like paying for ads, all this stuff. Like I really saw a growth in my business when I found my voice, and that voice for me was education. So I think this is one other thing with regards to like feeling stuck in your business and doing too many different things back and forth, and duplication. So I had a conversation with Jade, I think it was October of last year, so literally a year ago. And she was like, it was so funny because at that point she's like, yeah, I think I got 28 VIPs this month, like one of my best months. Like I'm really pushing. Granted, the girl's gotten like 200 plus in a month at this point. But if that just goes to show you in a year, like how different your business can be. And I remember her saying, like, you've just got to really niche down, figure out what you want to do with your business. Like really, because like for those of you who don't know, I'm goofy. I'm like, I'm tired and I'm stressed from my job. So a lot of you guys don't see that now, but I am naturally a very goofy person, especially on social media. So a lot of my reels were like being funny and kikiing and like trying to like put the business in, but really just trying to get people to laugh. And she's like, Jade said to me, she's like, Britt, I love you, but like, getting people to laugh is not going to make you money. Like, I'm not trying to be a comedian. I'm trying to sell shampoo, right? And get VIPs and all this stuff. So when I really niched down and figuring out what it is that I wanted to do with regards to making money through my social is when I really started seeing some good traction. Now, granted, a lot of my following is other Monat women. I'm okay with that because guess what? Instagram does not know y'all are in Monat. They just see that I'm getting engagement, that people are commenting on my stuff, that they are responding to my stories and all this stuff. And I'm playing into that. Like I try my best to just come from a place of service and love in my business. And I'm trying to push my content out to just be able to help people. And I don't care if that means other market partners. Does that mean I'm going to spend hours in conversation with other market partners? No, like they didn't sign up under me, but my content, whatever they can get from that, I want to be able to give that and offer that service to people. Because I think whenever other market partners are educated, it just helps all of us too, right? Like if everybody else can have less misinformation and all that stuff, it's going to really, really help everybody in the long run. So what I have found with regards to my social media, again, is the education aspect of it. And if you guys can figure out what your niche is, which would be something that is within your wheelhouse of what it is that you enjoy talking about and posting about and all that stuff, and you can relate it to your business, and it can be something that you can talk about forever. Like you don't have to have Jade hair or Marissa hair or Jen hair or any other kind of hair. It can just be as simple as like play into the skincare, talk about the science behind the products. Like you can go in and talk about the community aspect. Like there's got to be something about Monat that really, really resonates with you and your soul. For me, it is education. I am a nanny. I'm a caregiver. Like educating is my shtick. It is something I like to do. So it was something that just felt very natural to me. And I'm a big nerd about the products. So I know a lot of stuff about it that I knew that I could, give to other people. So figuring that out for yourself not only makes it more likely for you to be able to pull more people in because your energy will be captivating because you're loving what you're talking about, but it also makes your business feel easier to do, right? Whenever you are loving what it is that you're talking about, it doesn't feel like you're working as much, right? So that would be my other thing that I'd give you guys of when you feel like you're struggling and you feel kind of aimless in what you're posting, like really do some soul searching and figure out what your pillars are that you want to talk about and just hone in on those. And it makes it easier, again, not only on your following, because they're going to like what you're posting more, but it's going to feel a lot more natural and easy for you too. Marissa, do you have anything else to add, my love, before we hop off, or ask any questions if you guys have any questions?
No, I just love that. Like, and people will be able to feel your energy. So when you get on your stories, like hype yourself up a little bit, show that energy, be excited, because people can tell when you're not being authentic. And if you're just like, like they're going to feel that energy and they're not going to maybe have that trust or be excited about the product. So, sometimes even if you're not feeling it, I was not feeling it yesterday, but you know what, I got on and I'm like, hey, I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. And just, hype it up. Obviously, you don't want to be fake, but show your passion for it. People will feel that, I think so.
Even if it's being real with regards to having a shit day, guys, like people
Yep.
appreciate that authenticity and they're like, damn, so did I. And
Yep,
it's
that
like to
was
know it's not
me
just them.
yesterday.
Do you guys have any questions before we hop off? I'd really love to be able to answer anything you guys have. We're always available in WhatsApp as always, but anybody? No? All right. Well, we love you guys. We appreciate you. We hope you guys have a great night. Bye,
Yeah.
guys.